Okay, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, you know, mama, I just killed a man. Gonna start this off with a little bit of the Braids, a group that got their start in the early 1990s, and they produced this song, and it debuted in the movie High School High. And when I heard this song, I knew it was from Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, but I like this version a lot. Mama, I just killed a man. I put a gun against his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life has just begun, but now I'm gonna throw it all away. Mama! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You're welcome. Anyway, if you didn't know about Bohemian Rhapsody, this was from a group that is British born, known as Queen. And Frankie Mercury! And the movie Bohemian Rhapsody is out in theaters now. I'm not plugging Bohemian Rhapsody. That's probably... Well, anyway, we're not even going to talk about that show. Now, look, while watching that, because we're going to get into the meaning of this video in a moment, but while watching Bohemian Rhapsody, I do understand what Michael Jackson was trying to do. And it wasn't about no vitiligo. Michael Jackson was infatuated with rock stars, with rockers, guitar players. And he emulated them. Go back. What? That's why. Run DMC, the same thing. Wanting to mix the two genres together. But Michael, more so when you listen to his interviews, he talked about his affinity for individuals who were rock stars. The Van Halens, the Queens, the Freddie Mercurys. And the character who plays in Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie that's currently out, if he does not look like, well, if Michael Jackson doesn't look like him, let's do that right now. Let's say that, because he doesn't look like Michael. Michael looked like him. Okay, and to show you that there was a lot of plastic surgery, go and look at the pictures of Michael when he was a child, and look at the pictures of when he became an adult. You see the face structure is completely different. The face structure is so different that it doesn't match his brothers and sisters, but you look at his pictures when he was a child, his face structure matches his brothers and sisters. Okay, so that was all intentional, but that's his choice because he was a grown man. If he wanted to alter his appearance that way, that was completely his choice. But I'm just saying, I understand now. You know, I don't agree, as Chris Rock would say, but I understand. Okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about carrying on. Uh-oh, gotta put y'all on pause. We'll come back to carrying on. Good afternoon.
Sir.
I apologize. What you heard last was how I answer the phone. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, and all that other stuff. Always a greeting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let our... Oh, I'm sorry, there are two things I want to show you. About a month ago, I did a video, and I told you that the United States was taking and removing all of its experts. So as you see, as of November 30th, 2018, as Ebola outbreak worsens, health experts urge the Trump administration to action. PBS NewsHour says this Ebola outbreak is like no other since health workers have compared the region to a war zone. Oh no! They're using the war, the violence, as a reason to allow the outbreak to spread. I can prove it. Watch this. U.S. urged to send experts to Ebola hot zone. Wait a minute. Remember they pulled them out of there? Press Herald. The Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is now the second largest in history. Actually, it was the second largest in history some time ago. This is the very same Ebola outbreak that started in the Congo back in May and March of this year. It's the same one. So there are well over 500 people stricken and 300 people dead. And by the way, people are still dying in that area, and they don't know because it's too sparse. Many of you don't know about the Congo. The Congo is the largest government and the largest area in the whole continent of Africa. Okay, that's how bad this is. They allowed it to get there on purpose. See, all the other times they released Ebola, it was in a so-called hot zone where there was very little people. But not this time. They let it get to a city where there is 1.2 million people. And another city that has over 700,000 people. Okay, Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is the second worst, not worser, worst in world history. Fortune! The current Ebola outbreak in Africa has become the second largest in history. Oh no! Okay, hold on. One more thing, people. I don't care about that stupid nurse. She's just looking for people to recognize her. Recognize me, y'all. Anyway. Alright, this is the one. Conflict. Resistance hampering. Uh-oh. This ain't supposed to be happening. Hold on. I just noticed that it's skipping. Stop that. Okay. Sorry about that. Sometimes that version does that. I'm going to eventually use another. Don't send me no suggestions. I'm not asking for it. Because I's protected, y'all. I am protected. Anyway. Hampers EEON'S. World Health Organization. Who? World Health Organization. Who? World Health Organizations. Ebola efforts in the dark. Al Jazeera. English. Now says the World Health Organization. Who? The world. Anyway, Africa director talks about Ebola crisis and the resistance met while trying to tackle the outbreak in the DRC. As I told you, that's their excuse. And they're talking about the United States sending in its health workers. How come the UN has pulled its so-called UN peacekeepers out of the area? They have the power to keep them there. Then they want to say it's the Trump administration's fault. They're going to blame it on somebody until it gets out of control. I just wanted to share that with all of you so that you guys will know what's going on, what's happening. Okay? 1970s show. Alright. Mama! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. What is arbitration? I don't know what arbitration is. Do y'all know what arbitration is? Well, let me explain y'all. Arbitration is the most traditional form of private dispute resolution. Private, people. Arbitration is a private process. It is not administrative. It is not judicial. It is private. Arbitration is a binding procedure. Oh no, that means administrative. No, it does not. Administrative means government. Administrative means the executive branch of government. Pay attention to the word. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Y'all don't understand me. Y'all don't understand me. Hold on. No, shut up. Hold on. Y'all don't know where I'm going? Again, administration means executive branch of government. This is an alternative to that. It's called alternative dispute resolution. Well, why is that in the United States? Because under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, you have the right to petition government for redress of grievance. This is an alternative to petitioning government. Now let's find out about it. It is often administered by a private organization that maintains a list of available arbitrators and provide rules under which the arbitration is to be conducted. Such organization can also be managed. The arbitration in whole or in part can also manage the arbitration whole or in part. In other words, they can do it as a body or they can do it separately as individuals. Parties often select arbitrators on the basis of their substantive expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but all I want is an arbitrator who will be able to tell if this party has breached the agreement, if that party has breached the agreement. Who will be able to look at the agreement and see what the obligations of the parties are. We don't, in my instance, I don't need somebody who understands the law. Because the law is not the contract. The contract is the law. You guys understand that? That's why an arbitrator can only judge based on the contract. They cannot base on statute. It has nothing to do with statute. It's a private remedy. Statutes don't come into play. That's administrative. Okay, sorry. Whew. Arbitration is adjudicatory as opposed to advisory. In other words, it's binding. Whatever the arbitrator decides is the law. Anyway, because of the fact that the arbitrator, usually a retired judge or an attorney, usually it does not have to be a judge or an attorney, renders a decision at the end of the arbitration hearing, and that decision is final and binding. See? Adjudicatory. Adjudicatory. No, adjudicatory. I don't want to say ori. That don't make no sense. But anyway, you understand what we're saying, right? It's adjudicated. That's why it's adjudicatory. Adjudicatory. Mother. Anyway, subject only to a limited court review. That's right, limited. Why? Because the court cannot determine whether the contract is binding or non-binding. The court does not have that jurisdiction. Can you prove it? Yeah, we're going to open up this document. This is a... Let's see. Not there, not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Gotta go up. I've got to go, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama! Mama! Sorry. I like this song, people. I like this song an awful, awful, awful lot. Okay, we're going here. This is where we need you guys to pay attention. This right here. You need to understand what's going on. Then I'm going to explain something to you that I know you're going to get. Besides the antics and everything, I promise you you'll understand it in a moment. Hold on. Let me get rid of my braids. Like I told you guys, I like this song. Hey, braids, hold on a second, okay? Okay. The parties to a contract have no obligation to check the terms on a periodic basis to learn whether they have been changed by the other side. And this is the lowercase one, so we don't need that, but anyway. Indeed, a party can't unilaterally change the terms of a contract. It must obtain the other party's consent before doing so. So how do they change the terms of the contract with you all? Well, the telephone company, the cable company, the electric company, the gas company, the government, Social Security Administration, they all send you those notices. And you have to be very careful when you receive that junk mail, because there might be a binding contract associated with that. So you'll have to notify each. I don't have a contract with you. Take this back. Okay, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes when you receive junk mail, you don't realize it's junk mail. You think it's junk mail, but what they've done is they have notified you of the change in terms and condition of a contract or the introduction of a contract. Remember, it just says that you have to consent. So what if, like in this document, it says that if you fail to respond and answer each one of the points of averments or proof of claims, you there consent by or thereby consent to all of the terms in this contract. What if that's what that paperwork says that you're throwing back in the trash? You can't do that. Gotta read it. Gotta read it, people. All right. This is because a revised contract is merely an offer. So that's why you do a conditional acceptance of their offer. When they revise the contract, you have to do a conditional acceptance of their offer. We put one on our website. When you go to the private law arbitration files, when you go to that in the download section, you'll see one says conditional acceptance. You just amend that to fit your situation. We'll tell you about that in a second. We're about to revise that document for people because It is a general contract that we're going to put there for you that you can amend it to fit your situation. All right. It's merely an offer and does not bind the parties until it is accepted. Yes, this is the Ninth Circuit Court saying each one of these cases. These are all precedent-setting cases. This is the way it is. You can't change this. This is fact and law. Why? Because this comes from second statement, or no, it's restatement second contract. Okay, restatement second of contract. Go. It's in the same section of files on the website. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Man, y'all just so impatient. Where's the website? It ain't here? Nope, website ain't here. So I got to find the website in the Ebola. The website's in the Ebola section. Let's see. Nope, there it is right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been to the site lately, we have the coming soon section. We've added some information about the different things that are coming soon at the SATCOM location and website. You are advised, please, go look at the coming soon to see the programs and services that are being offered. And as far as our program section, many people have been wondering what we must tell people. The fact that they fill out a power of attorney. I just had somebody who is a SATPAC member but also later became a member of the SATCOM organization. He asked me, does the power of attorney give SATCOM power of attorney over them or their property? The power of attorney does not have SATCOM's name anywhere on it. That's your power of attorney that SATCOM is getting notarized and filed on your behalf. SATCOM does not do power of attorneys on your behalf. We will not do that, because if we did, it will always be a limited power of attorney. We would never get full power of attorney over nobody. I would never allow that to happen, ever, to any of you. Never. Because that's not how we operate. We try to operate with honesty, integrity, dignity, and we try to do it with clean hands, people. That's why we tell you what we're doing. That's why we have the frequently asked questions section. That's why we tell you about the programs. That's why we sit up here and create this, letting you know the programs that are coming. See? It has a lot of information. Even that Support the Child program is here. See? We specialize in, and that's the information. Okay, now that's showing you that, but what I want to show you is the download section. Now remember, I'm tethering, so we're going to do this real quick, and then we're going to end this video because we can't keep this video going on and on and on and on and on because I'm tethering and it's going to take me a while. There are two more things we have to show you, so we're going to finish showing you that, and we're going to show you the next item up for bid. Bob, what's the next item up for bid? Hold on. All right, now while that's pulling up, let's get back to this document. Ladies and gentlemen, it says, in generally, the offeree cannot actually assent to an offer unless he knows it exists. That means they have to receive notice. So you have to have proof that you sent the document. That's why you send it priority mail, because it has a tracking number. And if you really want to send it so that they get it, priority mail with signature confirmation. I prefer not the signature confirmation because I don't need to have a signature. We're not serving the documents on anyone. We're just sending it to them. The same as they send you that junk, you're going to send it to them. Okay. An offer may not be accepted until it is made and brought to the attention of the one accepting. Okay? So this was the original case right here. This comes from a case where the phone company, Talk America, it was an old company that was bought out by somebody else anyway. Talk America changed the terms of this guy's contract, but he said that he had never received those change in terms. They had no proof that they had sent them the change in terms. The Ninth Circuit Court says, well, look, hold on. If you can't prove you sent the change in terms, then those change in terms are not binding on him. And they ruled against him. See, this was called an adhesion contract. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, they're not stopped unless, or you're stopped if you do it. If you're in a position of the Talk America service, if you do not give the person notice, and if you can't prove that you notified the person or the other party, then you are stopped from doing anything further. You just can't do it. You cannot make unilateral, meaning one party, changes to the contract. But your contracts, they're unilateral contracts. That's right. But the law says you must notify the person. So let me tell you how it is notified. Hold on. We go here. Additionally, it is extingent and a consequence for the undersigned to inform the respondents in accordance with and pursuant to the principles and doctrines of clean hands and good faith, that by the respondent's failure or refusal to respond and provide the requested and necessary proof of claims raised herein and above and thereby and therein, and expressly consent, meaning the respondents, expressly consent and agree to said facts, and as a result of the sex executing and following this, the following is contingent upon their failure to respond in good faith, with specificity, with facts and conclusions of law to each and every averment, condition, and or claim raised as they operate in favor of the undersigned through tacit acquiescence. The respondents not only expressly affirm to the truth and validity of said fact, set and established and agreed upon between the parties as a condition to this conditional acceptance for value. See, conditional acceptance. We're doing our counter offer. They gave us an offer. We're doing a counter offer. Claim for proof of claim, but the respondents having agreed and consented to, respondents having a duty and obligation to provide the requested necessary proof of claims raised herein and above, will create and establish the respondents, or for the respondents, an estoppel in this matters and all matters relating hereto and arising necessarily therefrom. We cover all the bases because the Ninth Circuit Court and other courts have said we have to. So this is how they are bound to the contract. Okay, this is how they bind you to the contract, especially when they have you go into their courts and they tell you about their stupid rules and everything, and now you are stuck to them rules. All right, we just opened up the download section. Come on, download. All right, welcome to our download and documents page. We go past all of this. See, there it is, private law arbitration files. Click, click. When are you gonna get this thing working like it used to be? You just gonna have to sit back and relax. We're working on so many more things that are so important. Starting new look, here's the conditional acceptance contract, the one that I was just reading. That's it right there. And here is the restatement of second contract. Okay, restatement of second contract. There are two different ones here. I would actually say download all of them because they're all important. Look, ladies and gentlemen, because arbitration is a private process, that's why Congress made that private law. That's why they said that the arbitration, that the contract was binding between the parties. So Congress had already determined it was binding between the parties. Congress did that. Oh, by the way, since I called that office, they have not called me back. The wonderful office, what's the name of that stupid office? The government printing office, who said at first that it was a fraudulent law. Now they're not saying it's fraudulent. Now they're saying we're actively looking for a copy of it. Now they say they're going to call me back, and they haven't called me back at all. They asked for a little bit of time. All we need is time. Okay. So let me tell you what has happened, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get back to the arbitration document. So 1 second, please. This is the arbitration page. Now it lets you know that each one of you have the right to arbitration if you have a disputed matter. But the problem is when you go to an arbitrator through an arbitration association, what they were talking about up here, when they talked about it being a private organization that maintains a list of available arbitrators, well, these arbitrators have to pay dues and fees for being a part of that association. So it's called administrative fees. And then you pay them their rate of, what is it? $500 an hour. Now the arbitrator doesn't get $500 an hour. Part of that money is split up and divided with that administration, so they'll probably get $350 an hour. Then after that, they make a decision. But remember, these are bar acknowledged or state acknowledged arbitrators where they took and they got registered a certain way so that they could be used by the courts or by the public employees and so on and so forth, government employees. Okay, you don't need to go through them. What has been created is called the SITCOM Arbitration Association. Now let's read this and then we'll continue, okay? Most arbitration is driven by a pre-dispute contract entered into by the parties. Yes, the parties must agree to arbitration, and usually the contract includes an arbitration clause. Let me make sure we show you. No, that's not it. This is it. Uh-oh. That's not it either. Come on now. My screen, it froze up on me. Don't want that. Govern yourselves accordingly. No, that's too far up. Yeah, that's not. That's the see, arbitration, administrative remedy. Okay, the second paragraph is where they agree to the arbitration. Okay, this is where they agree. Oh no, not there. Hold on. Where is the arbitrator? Oh yeah, there we go. Silence and failure to respond when a request for summary deposition in any claim or particular issue may be requested and decided on by the arbitrator, whereas a designated arbitrator shall be chosen at random who is licensed and duly authorized. Licensed by whom? Licensed by the organization, not licensed by the state. Whereas a designated arbitrator shall be chosen at random who is licensed and duly authorized, and in the event of non-acceptance of appointment as arbitrator and or any physical or mental incapacity to act as arbitrator, the undersigned shall have the authority to select any neutrals, arbitrators that qualify pursuant to state and federal laws. Aha, qualify as pursuant to state and federal laws. Interesting. Well, state and federal laws does not require that person to have a license, just agreed upon by the parties. And any controversy or claim arising out of or relating in any way to this agreement or with regards to its formation, interpretation, or breach, or any issue of substantive or procedural arbitrability shall be settled by arbitration, and the arbitrator may hear and decide the controversy upon evidence produced, although a party who was duly notified of the arbitration proceeding did not appear, that the undersigned deems necessary to enforce the good faith of all parties hereto without respects to venue, jurisdiction, law, form, the undersigned deems appropriate, meaning the undersigned gets to choose the arbitrator. Okay? Now, I think that was it. I'm trying to make sure there was nothing else. We give them the original 10 calendar days, and then they get an additional 3 days. If they're in default, they're in default. And then we go to arbitration based on the default only, so that the arbitrator is only hearing the default. And the unique thing is, arbitration can be done electronically, where the parties send in their evidence, and the arbitrator just rules on the evidence, no other testimony. Well, like I said, the other arbitration associations, what they do is they charge you, how much is it that they normally charge? $500 an hour with a 4-hour minimum. 4 hours? 4 hours. So that's $2,000 you must shell out of your pocket. Can you afford $2,000? I can't. I ain't got $2,000 to be putting out of my pocket to be given to nobody for no reason. You guys got $2,000? Huh? Hey? Sorry, I'm looking for something, and this is not what I'm looking for. So let's see. We're going to try. Let me pause y'all for a second. Gotta find y'all first. Let's take, well, we gotta put you down here anyway, because you ain't supposed to be up there. Then we put you down here. Okay. And so now we gotta pause. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't have to pause y'all. It's right here. Come on now. Don't make me have to shake you back up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a page called What is Arbitration? And it will be complete. The website will be complete. See, just like that thing says Mobilize, that ain't supposed to say that. But it's the SAA Limited.com. This is the organization that is being put together. and that's the support at SAA.com, SAAlimited.com. This site will, and the company will be up and running by the 15th of December 2018. However, they are up and running for the most part now, handling some other issues, some other administrative issues. Let's take you to the home base. But the site will be complete and all of these little hiccups. That's why we haven't advertised it, because we're putting everything together for you all, not for us. These are independent individuals who will be sitting and arbitrating. Each one of them has either a master or a bachelor's degree. Their fee is $100 an hour as opposed to $500 an hour. So 1/4 of that which is normally charged. They have a minimum of 2 hours that they receive up front. And then after the 2 hours, it's $100 an hour, no upfront anything. Sorry, got to let that take its time to get us to the home page. There is the initial payment is $500 because it covers all fees. Covers everything in association. It's called the SITCOM Arbitration Association, SAA. Okay? And right now, if you went to the site, you will see that it basically explains everything, but there are certain pages. See, that's their logo. Let me pull that up. Come on now. Let's see. So that y'all can see the logo. That's their logo. Okay? SAAlimited.com. And basically, everything that they do is already talked about on the site. Sorry that my screen is operating so slow. And this is how the pricing, the time, and everything is put together. Okay, come on, one more page. Not this one. And it basically tells you a little bit about the rules there. Now it says all arbitration via video conference. That's with the exception of the electronic arbitrations that is done completely via secured email. All of the emails to and from, just like all of the sites, are secure. Okay? Hold on, come on now. Alright, these are the prices. This is how everything works. And the technician fee is paid. This is paid by both sides. So let's just say one side has not responded, one side has not answered. They are billed. Okay? And for those who want their arbitration, the parties agree to have the arbitration expedited. There is a difference in the fee there, and the information is right here on the site for people. Okay? Not now. You can't click buy now because we haven't set that up yet. We will set that up momentarily. That's just so you guys will know. We will set that up momentarily, but for right now, that's not the case. So you're just going to have to be patient because December 15th is when this part of the site is rolling out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do your research, please, on arbitration. I promise you, I wish I had known about the simplicities of arbitration and it being a common law remedy. Arbitration is a private process. I wish I had known of its common law remedial qualifications. If I had known about that, everything would have been all right, because a lot of stuff would have been taken care of a long time ago. Everybody who does arbitration, if you do any research on arbitration, you will see that arbitration is a means of avoiding the court. I didn't say it. Every site you go to will talk about arbitration being a means or a way of avoiding the court. Hold on. We got to go back down here to this paragraph right here. Well, let's do that. Now, pay attention. Most arbitrations is driven by a pre-dispute contract entered into by the party in which they agree that if a dispute should arise, it will never get into the court system. Everybody has been told how you should be avoiding the court. Okay? Everybody has been told how you should be avoiding the court, how you shouldn't be going into court and saying anything. What they didn't know is that there was a remedy for getting your disputes resolved, even those you have with the court, even those you have with IRS, even those you have with child support. You just have to establish the process, the contract. So I'll be doing a video very shortly showing you guys the steps in the process. I've already done it, but I'll do it again very soon. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for letting me bring this to your attention. Thank you for letting me tell you about, hold on, this organization right here that we have created. And you know, at first, we will tell you that SATCOM is not associated. They don't do anything with SATCOM. SATCOM just helped create them. None of their members, none of the association is associated with SATCOM. That had to be. Why? Because we don't want anybody saying that there's anything improper. However, SATCOM will utilize this service. Why? Because the parties whom are in contract with SATCOM have agreed to utilize this service. And again, the contract and the arbitration award, if there is an arbitration award, is binding on all parties. We'll let you know more as soon as we know more. Stay tuned, stay up to date. But as we said, this particular organization has its own website, has its own emails, has its own setup, has its own telephone number, and that's what we have to put up there. They have their own 800 number. So we'll be posting that on the site very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this and the introduction of the SITCOM Arbitration Association, SAA Limited.com. Have a very good day, have a very good night, have a very good life. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever it is, we didn't even finish this video, and we have to finish this video with Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay? Like I said, this is the braids. And she says something about spitting in somebody's eye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for allowing us to introduce this organization to you. The SITCOM Arbitration Association, SAA, at SAALimited.com. And ladies and gentlemen, if you see this, this is not an email address. This is just saying SAA at SAALimited.com. That's all it's saying. All right. Now she's going to tell you about carrying on, and then we're going to carry on out of here. Goodbye, everyone.